And welcome everybody to another bonus video of Let's Play Metroid Prime. This bonus video is actually very unexpected. I talked about this a couple times in the LP itself, but a couple days ago I picked up this copy of this. This is the Metroid Prime Trilogy. Nintendo actually, back in 2009, when Metroid Prime 3 was released, they decided to compile all the Metroid Prime games into one disc for the Wii, using the Wii control system and everything. I'll get into more of that in a second, but we're going to take a look at Metroid Prime 1. I will be showing off a bonus video of the Trilogy version of Metroid Prime 2 when we visit that game in the future. Nunchuck is required. I got one right here in my hand. But this is actually something really nifty a little bit. You can actually go over here to slot 1. This is on the Wii U console. I don't have any like Mii set up here, but you can use it to kind of select it as your file. But come over here, it says you can choose which game you wanted to play. As of right now, you start single players, and there's also multiplayer in Metroid Prime 2, but we'll take a look at that when we come across that game. So let's go start single player. We're going to start Metroid Prime because that's the game that we're on right now. But you can choose all 3 Metroid Prime games, and it's pretty nifty. We're just going to go look at the differences between Metroid Prime Trilogy version and the regular GameCube version of Metroid Prime. One thing is the difficulty selection. You had easy, normal, and hard on Metroid Prime. Actually, I think this is normal and hard, I'm sorry. But now you got normal and veteran. So the names kind of change up a little bit. So let's go choose normal. But as you guys can see, the little loading screen, it's pretty much a Metroid upscaled to the Wii graphics. Now I know the Wii didn't really have too much of difference in graphics between the GameCube and the Wii, but it also has a new control scheme. So right now we're starting the game right off the bat here. So we're starting up a new game and everything. I'm only going to go over the main differences of the Trilogy version compared to the actual GameCube version. This is actually the first time I've ever actually touched the Trilogy version. I've been meaning to pick up this copy for a while because I kind of wanted to do a synopsis on what it looks like. I always like comparing different versions of games and whatnot. So if you see bonus videos of like that in the future, that's probably why. But I figured that I'd go ahead and show this bonus video off to you guys because, well, it's something to upload. But we've already seen this game. I think we can skip. No, we can't skip. I guess it's just because it's technically the first time I've ever played it. So, yeah. And Samus is going to land on the ship again. Now, the main difference between this version and the actual GameCube version is the control scheme. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. The control scheme is different than the GameCube version of it. The GameCube version uses a controller. The Wii version uses the nunchuck and Wiimote, which use the same kind of control scheme as Metroid Prime 3, which we'll come to in the future. We'll look at it. But it's nice to... This is actually really hard to come by nowadays. This version of the game is really hard to come by. The Trilogy version is really, really hard to come by. I think they go for like at least $100 on eBay nowadays. But as you guys can see, a little pointer click here. This is practically the main difference between the two. You have the Wiimote to use motion controls and stuff like that. So press Z to hold on lock target. So you have to actually manually aim when you lock on. Kind of just focuses your fire and everything. So like it's pretty much that in a nutshell. If you come over here, another thing is different is if you have to hold, I do believe, minus on the Wiimote and come up to your scan visor to come over here and scan this. So that's kind of different in a way. Another thing that I know for a fact that's different is the morph ball when it comes to morph ball. I'll get into more detail when we come up to the tutorial on how to do so. Can actually come up here. I've always been. Another thing that's really different too is that you guys can see my missile count. My missile count is kind of shows you how many we have out of all of them. So like I have 15 out of 15. In the GameCube version, it just showed you a number. I thought that was pretty cool. I've always liked the control scheme of Metroid Prime 3, so this is kind of a welcome addition to make an upscaled version using this control scheme, because this control scheme actually is really good. I really like it. I really do enjoy it. Metroid Prime 3 is actually a really good game, and I would really advise anybody to pick it up. But alas, we'll come across here. Let's just go ahead and get on our merry way here. Go ahead and kill these guys here. Kill the monsters. There we go. Now, the main difference here, we gotta use the charge beam here. When we come up to the tutorial with the morph ball, right here. Now, the main difference here, and you also have to kind of have your Wiimote kind of position on the screen a little bit. If you just take it off of the screen just a little bit, it looks like Samus is like, oh no, where'd the reticle go? Push C, and you go in morph ball. Now, this is something they added in the Trilogy version. If you flick your Wiimote up, Samus jumps in her ball. This is called spring ball. That's something completely different that wasn't in the GameCube version. Is this ability to jump in morph ball form. This actually helps out, I will say, when we take a look at this version on Prime 2. This helps out with a certain boss, but we'll get into that more detail later. But this is called spring ball, and this actually really does help a lot of situations. So you don't have to sit here and use the bomb jumps to do this. You just can go ahead and do it manually. That's really a good thing. I like that. But let's go ahead and get our map here. But that's pretty much the only major differences between the game. That pretty much that is the control scheme and that morph ball spring ball. That's pretty much it. And the way the HUD is laid out and everything. If you hold, I do believe if you push square, or not square, plus, your beams will pop up here. So if you hold plus, you can choose what beam it is, because you don't have a C stick on the Wiimote. So like, you have your power beam right here. This would be probably wave beam. That's ice beam. That's plasma beam. So you would just move your cursor over where you want it, and then you swap weapons. You push minus, you swap visors, essentially, like I've been doing. So that's pretty much the only main difference between the Trilogy version and the GameCube version, is pretty much the control scheme and the addition with spring ball, really. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. And the way the HUD looks is kind of different. The only major difference is that counter up there. That's pretty much it. But anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. This was kind of a not expected bonus video of Metroid Prime, but I kind of wanted to show it off just because, well, I did get the Trilogy version. I kind of wanted to record it and see how it does and everything, and long and behold, it's a really good collection. If you guys ever find this, I'd really recommend getting this. Any Metroid fan should pick this game up. But anyways, that is that. So without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video. The next video, I want to make a little announcement. I will be starting the new Let's Plays here this upcoming week. So if you're wondering when certain Let's Plays start, they're starting next week. So I will see you guys in the next video I do. Take care, everyone.